Hey, in this lesson, we're going to be looking more at collaboration and the different editing modes that are available within Google Docs. So for the editing modes, and when you do share the document, this is where when you share that, make sure that the person is either a commenter or editor. If you want them to have the option in order to make suggestions for those modes. So if we update the share and if we do viewer and save, so I've changed this account now to viewer instead of to editor, and they're going to have different modes that they can work with. So I'm going to open up, and the right hand side there's an option for editing mode, and as well you can go to view mode. There's editing, suggesting, and viewing. The editing mode, so edit the document directly, so it just makes the changes to the document. Suggesting mode makes edits as suggestions, and then those are going to be marked up within the document. And then the viewing mode doesn't allow for editing, it's just a strict view mode, so you're only able to view the document as it is. So that's the different modes. So let's go back into suggesting mode. And I do need to switch to the other account. So when you switch to just the view permissions, we don't have the same options in the toolbar that we can't edit the document because we're only able to view it. So we're not able to make suggestions or edits to the document. So we can always request the edit access. And I'm going to go ahead and grant the edit access back to that other account that I have. So I'm going to set them up as editor. So that way they can edit the document as well as they can comment on the document. So the mode is back, and let me just switch back to that other account. So now I've got them both opened at the same time, and I can see that they're both collaborating on the same document. So let's go ahead and make some suggestions. So I'm changing either from the view top menu to suggesting mode, or I've updated the suggesting mode on the right hand side in the quick menu to suggested mode. And what happens with the suggested mode is that whenever we make any edits, we get this editing part to it, and it'll tell us what edits have been done on the left hand side, and then we can either accept or reject those edits. And as well, we can apply comments. So that's another way that we can do editing to the document. Any new content, that's also going to go in green as new content. And then when I switch over, and now in the second account, it shows up as pink. And this is also corresponding to the color that we see being associated with that first account. And then they can also accept or reject the suggestions. And when you accept the suggestion, what happens is that that edit moves forward and it gets updated on the document. And if you reject it, then it just gets removed and nothing gets changed within the document. So there's accepting and rejecting of the document content. And that's how you can track the changes that have been made. So with the suggestions. And if we want to track the changes that have been made, we can go up to the top right-hand side where we've got open comment history. And this will give us a whole running tally of that delete was done, and then there's also that the new content was rejected, and the person that rejected it, what time they rejected it, benefit of, so delete, so whether it was accepted, and all the different changes that have been done. So this is all done within the comment as well, so you can add in comments to these, and as well as tracking the changes really helps you work well collaboratively together. And one of the suggested tips is that when you first open up a document, so if you're just coming in fresh to the document, that you go to the tools, and under the tools, you go review suggested edits. And what this will do is this will list out all of the suggested edits on the page. So listing out all of the edits that are on there on the left-hand side, because by default, you're going to be starting out within the edit mode. So you might miss some of these edits. So it's always good to kind of come into the document, go under tools, review such suggested edits. And then from those suggested edits, you can either preview, accept all, preview, reject all. So I think we only have the one. So if we preview it, what it's going to look like if we accept all, if we preview the reject all, what it's going to look like when we do a reject all. So it gives you a quick preview of what it's going to look like, and then you can also kind of go through each one of the suggested edits as well. So that's the option that you have, so you can do a quick accept or a reject of those edits. Accept the suggested edits, and that was to delete that one piece of content. And if we ever want to go back, so we do have the running tally of the different edits that have been done and applied. And I'll cover more on version history in the upcoming lessons. And I also did want to note that we did receive the email, the changes and the suggestions were done. So we can take a look at what's been resolved in the email, and then this one came through. So usually it does take a little bit of time where you've got the suggestions, what was resolved, and what was being done to the document. And so this gets sent out as a notification to the owner of the document. So go ahead, open up your doc and go into the suggesting mode and make some edits, suggestions to that. And then you can either accept and reject those, and you're going to be ready to move on to the next lesson.